Welcome back to our chilling series, where we delve into the darkest corners of human history, exploring the most horrific punishments ever devised in the name of justice or vengeance. In previous episodes, we've uncovered instruments of torture that seem almost primitive in their brutality. Claws designed to tear through flesh with agonizing precision. Cudgels that shattered bones with merciless force. But today, we turn our attention to an instrument so diabolically ingenious, so steeped in creative sadism, that it stands apart as a monument to mankind's capacity for cruelty: the Brazen Bull. This device, born from the twisted imagination of its creator, was not merely a tool of execution, but a grotesque spectacle, blending art and agony in a way that haunts the annals of history. The very thought of enduring the Brazen Bull's torment is enough to make the bravest soul shudder. Its slow, deliberate cruelty makes other punishments, like the ravenous gnawing of starving rats on a victim's intestines, seem almost bearable by comparison. Unlike the swift mercy of a noose or an axe, the Brazen Bull prolonged suffering, turning death into a performance of unbearable torment. Picture a person trapped inside, their screams echoing not as human cries, but as something else entirely. A sound so distorted, it could be mistaken for the bellowing of a wounded beast. This was no accident. It was the very essence of the bull's design. This ghastly method of execution traces its origins to the ancient Greeks, a civilization renowned for its philosophy, art, and innovation, yet capable of producing such a nightmarish creation. Known by various names, the Bronze Bull, the Sicilian Bull, it was a device that married mechanical ingenuity with unspeakable cruelty. Our knowledge of this horrific invention comes to us primarily through the Bibliotheca Historica, or historical library, a monumental work penned by the ancient Greek historian Diodorus Siculus. This sprawling collection of books chronicles the history of the world as Diodorus saw it, from the mythical sands of ancient Egypt to the conquests of Alexander the Great. Though parts of this historical tapestry have been lost to time, fragmented or incomplete, the passages describing the Brazen Bull remain vivid, etched into the record with chilling clarity. In one of these ancient texts, Diodorus introduces us to the mind behind the Brazen Bull, Perillos of Athens, an inventor whose brilliance was matched only by his macabre creativity. Sometime between 570 and 544 BC, in the bustling city-state of Athens, Perillos conceived an idea so audacious, so grotesque, that it demanded an audience with power. He was a man of vision, a creative technologist of his era, seeking patronage to bring his nightmarish invention to life. With a blend of ambition and hubris, he pitched his idea to Phalaris, the infamous tyrant of Acragas, a city in what is now modern-day Sicily. Phalaris was a figure shrouded in dread, his name synonymous with cruelty. Ancient accounts paint him as a monster who reveled in torture, with some even claiming he indulged in the unthinkable act of consuming children. Yet, modern scholarship, as noted in sources like the Encyclopedia Britannica, suggests his cruelty may have been exaggerated by his enemies, a smear to tarnish his legacy. Truth or legend, one thing is certain: Phalaris saw potential in Perillos' creation and provided the resources to bring it to fruition. So what exactly was the Brazen Bull, and how did it claim its victims? Imagine a life-sized bull, its form crafted not from flesh, but from gleaming bronze, its surface polished to reflect the flickering flames that would soon engulf it. At its side, a hatch allowed a person to be forced inside, sealed within the hollow chamber. Beneath the bull, a fire was kindled, its flames licking the metal underbelly, slowly heating the interior to unbearable temperatures. The victim, trapped within, would roast alive, their body subjected to a slow, excruciating death as the heat seared their flesh. But the true horror of the brazen bull lay not only in its physical torment, but in its psychological cruelty. Specially designed pipes ran through the bull's structure, transforming the victim's agonized screams into something otherworldly. To onlookers, these cries emerged as the haunting bellows of a beast, a grotesque mimicry of life that masked the human suffering within. For a man like Phalaris, this macabre symphony may have been the bull's most delightful feature, a perverse form of entertainment that turned death into spectacle. To conceal the acrid stench of burning flesh, the bull's nostrils were filled with incense, releasing fragrant smoke that curled into the air, masking the grim reality of the execution. When the fire had done its work, and the victim was reduced to ash and bone, the remains were not discarded. Instead, the bones were collected and, according to some accounts, fashioned into bracelets, a grim trophy for those who orchestrated the punishment. When Perilos first presented his vision to Phalaris, he described it with chilling enthusiasm. The occupant will shriek and roar in unremitting agony, and his cries will come to you through the pipes as the tenderest, most pathetic, most melodious of bellowings. Your victim will be punished, and you will enjoy the music. These words, dripping with sadistic pride, reveal the inventor's belief that his creation was not just a tool of death, but a work of art. Yet fate is often cruel to those who play with fire. When the brazen bull was completed, its gleaming form standing as a testament to Perilos' ingenuity, Phalaris demanded a demonstration. He instructed Perilos to climb inside and test the acoustics of his creation. Some accounts claim that Phalaris, true to his ruthless nature, lit the fire beneath, subjecting the inventor to the very torment he had designed. Others suggest that Perilos was spared the flames, only to meet a different end, hurled from a cliff by the tyrant's order. Either way, Perilos' creation became his undoing, a poetic justice that saw the architect of suffering consumed by his own ambition. Remarkably, Phalaris himself did not escape the bull's fiery embrace. Historical accounts suggest that upon his downfall, the tyrant was forced into the very device he had commissioned, his screams echoing through the same pipes he once found so amusing. In a twist of fate, both creator and patron met their ends within the brazen bull, their legacies forever tied to its horrific legacy. Yet the story of the bull did not end with them. Its infamy spread beyond the shores of Greece, finding a new home in the Roman Empire, where cruelty was often elevated to an art form. The Romans, known for their brutal spectacles in the Colosseum and beyond, embraced the brazen bull with a grim enthusiasm. Those familiar with our series on Roman torture will know that the empire had little qualm about inflicting unimaginable pain. Among the victims of this device were early Christians, persecuted in the centuries before Emperor Constantine's conversion to Christianity in the 4th century AD. One such figure was Saint Eustace, a man whose story is as tragic as it is inspiring. Once a loyal servant of a Roman emperor, Eustace's life changed forever when he experienced a divine vision, a stag with a crucifix glowing between its antlers, a symbol that led him to embrace Christianity. This newfound faith came at a great cost. Christian tradition holds that Eustace faced divine tests, losing his wealth, his servants, and even his family, who were taken from him by a lion and a wolf. Yet, through every trial, his faith remained unshaken. Some accounts claim that Eustace was eventually reunited with his wife and children, their family restored as a testament to his devotion. But this reunion was fleeting. Under the reign of Emperor Hadrian, Eustace and his family were condemned to the Brazen Bull. As the flames roared beneath, their screams filled the air, transformed by the bull's pipes into a haunting chorus. Christian sources from the 1800s offer a miraculous account of their martyrdom. The holy martyrs, by divine power, remained alive for 3 days, praising and blessing the great giver of life and death. At last, when their voices ceased, the bull was opened, and all 4 were found without life, but also without any injury to their bodies or garments. This tale of divine preservation, while extraordinary, underscores the faith that sustained Eustace and his family through their unimaginable ordeal. Another Christian martyr, Saint Attipas, met a similar fate. Dragged to the temple of Artemis by an enraged mob, he was cast into a red-hot brazen bull, a device the Romans used to sacrifice victims to their gods in rituals meant to expel demons. As the flames consumed him, Attipas's voice rose in prayer, beseeching God to accept his soul and strengthen the faith of his fellow Christians. He even prayed for forgiveness for his tormentors, his words a testament to his unwavering compassion. According to legend, he passed from this world as peacefully as if slipping into sleep, his spirit unbowed by the horrors of the bull. Skeptics may dismiss these stories as legend, woven from the threads of faith rather than fact. Historians, too, caution that the accounts of the Brazen Bull, from its origins in Greece to its use against Christian martyrs, are difficult to verify with certainty. Yet, the persistence of these tales, preserved in ancient manuscripts and passed down through the centuries, speaks to their enduring power. The Brazen Bull remains a symbol of humanity's capacity for cruelty, a chilling reminder of the lengths to which people will go to inflict suffering. Today, no authentic Brazen Bull survives, though museums may display replicas, their bronze surfaces gleaming with an eerie beauty. These recreations can only hint at the terror of the original, a device that turned human agony into a perverse performance. As we reflect on this grim chapter of history, we invite you to share your thoughts. Have you encountered a punishment more horrific in our other episodes? Drop your comments below, and don't miss our next installment, Eaten Alive, Scaphism, Worst Punishments in History of Mankind. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the shadows of the past. As always, like, share, and subscribe to stay with us for more tales of history's darkest moments. Until next time.